Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Betsy. Today I'm going to talk about how I lost 30 pounds with the Whole30 program. And even saying that right now, I can't believe it because a year ago, the thought of losing that much weight seemed like an impossible task. I'm going to talk about three main points. I'm going to talk about my weight struggles. I think it's important to have context and understand where somebody's coming from. You might see somebody that lost a ton of weight and then realize that they've been an athlete all their life, or somebody lost weight who's been struggling their whole life. So I definitely think that it's important to have some context and understand where that person is coming from. Then I'm going to talk about how and why I decided to do Whole30, and last I'm going to talk about what is next for me. So a little history about my weight loss struggles journey. When I was little, I was very petite up until I was 6 years old when a family member started taking care of me, and because I was so petite, I didn't really eat that much, and she thought that I was very unhealthy and very thin. To her, a healthy kid was a kid that ate a lot and was plumpy. So she wanted to get me healthy and would overfeed me, and I wasn't allowed to leave the table until I finished my meal. So I really think that my unhealthy eating habits stem from there. After that, I started getting chubby, but I never really considered myself a chubby kid. I never thought about my weight. I mean, I was just a kid. It wasn't until I was 12 years old in middle school, in 8th grade, about to go off to high school, when a kid made a comment about my weight and basically called me fat, and that really hurt my feelings. So that summer break, I got on a diet and lost 20 pounds. I started off high school thin and I felt good, but I had a lot of eating disorders. I would binge eat, gain 5-10 pounds, then I would go on a crash diet. Then when I was in college, I lived on my own and I made sure that I didn't have any unhealthy food in my apartment, but I definitely struggled. All of my adult life, I've always been in some sort of diet. I would start a diet, weigh myself every other day or every day, and if I didn't see the number that I thought should be on the scale, I would get really discouraged and think to myself, why am I even trying if this isn't working? Like, why am I putting in so much work and I'm not losing weight? And I would give up. And it was just a cycle of failure and treating myself bad. And then when Eric and I moved in together, he really likes sweets. I really love sweets, but he's thin. His family is thin. For him to manage his weight was a lot easier. My body type, if I see food, I gain 5 pounds. Like, it's, my body wants to retain fat. So I really always had to watch my weight. It wasn't until I discovered Whole30 that everything, as far as the way I eat, the way I see food, how I decide whether something is healthy for me, has completely changed. I discovered Whole30 online, and one of my really good friends tried it, and she loved how she felt while she was on the program, and hearing her talk about it, it just made me want to give it a shot as well. By the point I had decided that I was going to commit to Whole30, I had tried so many different diets, and at this point I was 50 pounds over my normal weight, and I was so angry with myself because I just couldn't understand how I just had let that happen. There's so many things in life that we can't control, so many things that are out of our hands, but what I eat, what I put in my body, that's completely up to me and in my control. And when I wasn't able to make healthy decisions, I would just get really frustrated with myself. I was depressed. I was always tired. I was always hungry. I always had cravings. I really thought that my metabolism was broken. I felt hopeless. I thought I was never going to lose weight. Everything kind of became a hassle. Going out with friends, that meant I had to go buy clothes, because I refused to buy new clothes when I was at my heaviest, because I thought to myself, if I do, that's validating that I've gained a lot of weight. I'm also gonna lose it, so I don't want to spend the money on new clothes if I'm gonna lose it down the line. When I decided to do Whole30, I knew one thing for sure, and that's that I didn't want to keep feeling the way that I did. And if you're not familiar with the Whole30 is, it's a program that you follow for 30 days and you eliminate foods that tend to cause inflammation. But you don't count calories, you can eat as much as you want until you're full, but you do eliminate food groups like grains, added sugar, legumes, dairy, additives like MSG, carrageenan, and alcohol, and you eliminate them for 30 days. Another actually really great thing about Whole30, or one of the rules, is that you're not allowed to weigh yourself for 30 days, which for me was so great because I wasn't constantly obsessing about my weight. I wasn't jumping on the scale and then being discouraged and disappointed by the number that I saw. After the 30 days, you start to reintroduce one food group at a time to see what agrees with you and what doesn't. You might notice that when you reintroduce dairy, you break out, or you get puffy eyes, or you're tired, or it gives you digestion issues. So you really get to know your body, and it's basically a hard reset. When I was ready to commit to Whole30, I did a lot of research to really understand the program. I also got the book It Starts With Food, and that book changed my life. I mean, it just broke down how food affects us as far as our mood, our hormones, the way we sleep, our cravings. And after that book, I wanted to treat my body better, and it starts with food. After I finished that book, I picked a day that didn't interfere with anything major going on in my life, because it is a 30-day commitment. There's no cheats, there's no slip-ups. And then I cleared out my fridge of anything that wasn't compliant with the program, which was basically everything. I went to the store, I bought a bunch of groceries, and I had some meal ideas as far as what I would have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I really tried to be as prepared as possible, because I think with anything that we do in life, preparation is key. We want to set ourselves up for success. Another thing that I did is I let my friends and family know that I was starting Whole30. Letting them know made them want to be supportive. You might be wondering how my Whole30 experience went. In short, really good, because I've lost 30 pounds. But at the beginning, of course, it was a struggle. What I kept telling myself, and what was more difficult, was just to continue the way that I was. I didn't want to continue being mad at myself and frustrated and feeling defeated and feeling like a failure. The days that I was having a tough time, I just knew that I could do it. I think too, the change this time around when I've managed to lose so much weight is that I changed my mentality. I changed the way that I thought about myself, and I started to believe that it was possible. And once I started to believe it was possible, then I started seeing progress. After the 30 days, when I saw that I lost weight, it gave me hope. I felt like, okay, I'm not broken. My metabolism isn't broken. I can lose weight. I can do this. If I really commit and I follow what I'm supposed to do, I can do it. So for 30 days, I ate Whole30 compliant foods, and I didn't really work out. I think I hiked a couple of times, but other than that, I wasn't working out, wasn't going to the gym. The change in the way that I was eating was a big change in itself, that I didn't want to add something else. I wasn't going to the gym prior to Whole30, so I didn't want to add that on top of it. And then after the 30 days, when I saw that I had lost weight, I felt hopeful, and I just wanted to continue eating better because of the way that I felt. I had energy, I slept better, my constant cravings and obsession with food were gone. So I just wanted to keep eating healthy and feeling good. What's next for me? Well, I still want to continue eating healthy, and I have about 15 more pounds that I want to lose. Lean and shredded is where I want to be. That's my goal. And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Come along this journey and see if it'll happen. You never know. Maybe I'll be really ripped and you'll look back and be like, I followed that girl when she was a little dumpling and look at her now. So hit that subscribe button. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm at betsykarr. And I hope this video was helpful to you. If you feel like I did at one point where I felt like a failure, I felt defeated, I felt hopeless, I thought I was never going to lose weight, just know that it's possible. It's definitely possible. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and whatever your goal is, I wish you all the success in the world.